Season 6. Let's do this. Let's kick things off to the bottom right side of Ruins of Seras with our blue... No, we're not on the bottom. We're at the top. We're at the top. We're on the top right side. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. So the top right side of Ruins of Seras is almost such a flawless, smooth, awesome introduction. To the top right side from Nuit Blanche, it's our blue Zerg player. It is Hino. And down to the bottom right. It's going to be our orange Zerg player from isIMBA. It is going to be Donna. Best of 4 all-kill series. Yes, well, we have had a lot of all-kills this season. Something like about over half the matches have been all-kills or something like that. It's pretty insane. Of course, not all of them have been 4-0 all-kills. Some have been reverse all-kills. Some have kind of taken a map and then been an all-kill. We've had all sorts, but there's been a lot of all-kills. That is definitely true. isIMBA especially have had 3 all-kills against them on their own. Still, again, yet to take a map this season. Is Donna going to be the first to do it for them here against Hino, as we see? Well, gas pool opening is going to be spotted almost immediately by Hino's incoming Overlord coming in from the top right side of the map. And we're going to see, well, a hatch gas pool opening out of Hino. So Hino going to see what's going on early and should begin to be able to prepare against this by going for a faster Baneling Nest than Zergling speed. But Donna will be looking to put the pressure on here very shortly as that Zergling count will start to rise on up. Spawner pool we're going to finish allowing the Queen to be made as well and Zergling speed to start. Shout out to Murphy who hits that resub button for the 4th month in a row. Thank you very much, dude. Almost just feels like yesterday that you first subbed. That's crazy. I remember when you... I actually do remember when you first subbed as well. After we were talking a little bit through email about how to not die to void rays or something. It was something like that. Anyways, this Queen on the way out here. The Zergling speed is on the way up, and Donna just continuing to mine gas to get ready to go into a Baneling Nest here in the very near future. Hino is going to opt to go for a Zergling speed first, not going to go for the Baneling Nest initially, so this will just come down to control. Donna actually going to drop the hatchery though, so not going to be super aggressive out of our orange Zerg in the end, but we'll still have a faster link speed to work with if he wants to make something happen with that, and a faster Queen and inject too. So let's see how this goes in the near future. Actually, does the Zonna skipped Queen? No, okay, it's down on the low ground. I was going to say, where's the Queen gone? But we found it. It's on the low ground. Phew, thank God for that. Would have been awful if we'd actually lost the Queen, wouldn't it? Alright, a couple more Zerglings pop out. A couple more continue to come out here. Link speed will be finishing shortly, allowing these Zerglings to run across the map if they'd like to. Donna making a few more drones of his own, though, and actually just goes straight into a Roach Warren. Ooh, loving this one. Very fast Roach Warren out of Donna. A few more drones coming up. And might just be looking for very aggressive Roach laying timing in the very near future. These links starting to come across, looking to see what they can get up to here in the next couple of moments. As we see Donna with that Roach Warren again, will be looking for the aggression. I know actually already pulling his drones up to the high ground. Feeling that there's going to be a lot of pressure coming in from his opponent, but, well, okay, it's going to be a little bit, but not too much, as these first couple of Zerglings do get caught. And Hino just going to start taking damage on his natural expansion. A couple of Banes about to finish morphing in. Queen's going to find the bravery to move down the ramp, and he's going to try and turn this away, as the Banes start coming in, more Zerglings too. And he will push this back, but did lose some mining time and lots of oversaturation from his main base, as them drones now get sent back down to the low ground. A lot more drones are coming for Donna. He's taking a worker lead behind all of this, and hasn't used his Roach Warren just yet, so neither player really making big moves at all in this game. As we're going to see, ooh, Baneling connection over here goes away with Hino, and now Donna trying to buy a little bit of time by pulling away with the Zerglings. Going to send a couple of them after some Banelings towards the back of this, as we see Roaches on the way up to defend. Donna going in towards the Evolution Chamber, which is going to be interesting to see what he wants to do with this, whether it's just going to be an upgrade early on. Probably is. I mean, there's not any Overlords nearby to drop with or anything, as we see these Zerglings starting to hit this natural mineral line, but Roaches are out, and that means Hino can't really do too much. Going to run into the main, though. Will get us around on the Queen. That's going to be a dead Queen, so nice pick off straight away here. Immediately, Donna starts to rebuild that Queen, realizing his mistake. But these Zerglings will pretty much pay the prices. All but five do end up going down. So, Zergling is going to be pulling back home, as we're going to see the third base being taken by Hino. But now Donna does have this very strong push starting to come up the right-hand side of the map, and lots of potential to do damage with this. As we're going to see a little bit of a Ling War here. We do see +1 starting on that Evo Chamber from earlier, but that's not going to come into play just yet, as no Roaches have started for Hino. And Donna, does he have the potential to really push through? He's actually ahead on workers, so doesn't really need to attack. Question is, if he does attack, will he get enough done? Probably not. That's a lot of Zerglings. He might end up having to fight, though, as you're going to see these Zerglings coming in, looking to surround these Roaches. These Roaches are just going to have to turn and fight the Lings coming back from Donna as well, just to try and help out. Roaches doing pretty well against this, though. But they will eventually, I think, just about be worn down, especially as a couple more beings come in, actually. Well, them Zerglings really helped out, and in the end, a lot of these Roaches do survive, so Heino loses a lot, and Donna does a pretty good job so far. So these few Roaches continuing to come down this side and come back home now, as we do see the first Roach starting to pop up for Heino. Does have that upgrade lead and has had that third base for a little longer, although hasn't really had the workers to mine from it at all, so hasn't really been playing too big a role in this game. Good map control from Donna with lots of overlords to keep an eye on what is happening around the map. Very limited map control from Heino, who obviously wants to keep his overlords back, just in case of mutas, just in case of Ravagers, picking them off here, there, and everywhere. And these couple of Zerglings from Heino just going to be running in. And you're going to see a few corrosive bars starting to come down, starting to hunt down that first overlord, but only 3 corrosive bars initially isn't enough to kill that overlord just now. As we'll see the lair on the way up for Heino, we'll see that +1 about to finish, and again, something which Donna just has not invested into at all here. Still just on free bases with a lair only just now starting, and more Zerglings coming out, but an Evo Chamber dropping down. It's a very late +1 for Donna, and honestly really needs to maybe get something done with this attack timing right now. Does have a big army supply lead over Heino. This is what he needs to make use of, as we see Donna pushing across the map, getting ready to go for this. Lots of Lings coming in behind this, and of course trying to take behind this too. And the main thing is going to be trying damage done right now as Corrosive Bile just land on a couple of these units, so that's a good start. As these Roaches keep moving forwards, them 2 Ravagers in the front are going to get caught off guard. And the upgrade lead is not doing enough just yet for Heino. So we're going to see some Roaches moving a little bit further forwards. Going to try and now pull back as Donna moves up this ramp. We'll keep on chasing. And we'll see a couple more Corrosive Bars being popped just to keep a couple of these units away. As well, Donna doesn't just have a little bit too much. He might be about to take the first game of this season for isIMBA. They haven't taken a single map so far. They are 0-12 after 3 matches. But are they about to go 1-up in the series? They very well may be, as drones are dropping. Donna still with a heavy army supply lead here in this side of the map, and that, well, the upgrade advantage doesn't come into play just because of how many units Donna has. It looks as though Heino is in a lot of trouble. There's another drone or 2 goes down. Some Lings come in as well for Donna, help to tank, help to take down these 3 Roaches. More and more Lings streaming in. GG will be called. isIMBA have taken a map. And as we have to the bottom left side of Orbital Shipyard, our pink Terran player from Nuit Blanche, it's going to be Basio. And to the upper right, we're going to have our orange Zerg player from isIMBA. It's going to be Donna. Polish showdown here in game number 2. And I know I'm probably saying Basio's name wrong, it should be Bashor, but I'm really bad at remembering to say it. So apologies for anyone who is watching that is triggered by my pronunciation of his name. I'm just not very good at it. We'll just leave it at that before I keep on trying. So, kicking things off into the second game, it's going to be a pool gas opening, which I don't really mind actually on Orbital Shipyard. You know, you consider this map, it's very good for Thurax Reaper play because of all of these ledges which can be abused. Not just 1 ledge, but 2 ledges, which give heavy access into the main and so on. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. We're going to see some drones popping on into these gases. I'm going to see a spawning pool finishing up as well. Queen starting, and that hatchery just a little bit later to come into the game. It just gives them a little bit of extra safety against early Reapers. There's actually just going to be a single Reaper expand out of Bashor, so nothing too crazy about this. And we'll see what is going to happen from here. Cool. I see Dark One's mentioned in the sub tourney in the chat. Make sure, guys, if you are subbed or donated recently or part of our or supporting us on Patreon, you do get signed up to the sub tournament. It takes place on Monday from 7 PM CET. We're going to be casting that live, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll cast as many games as we can from it, obviously. It should be a good, a few fun hours of games. And we've actually already got like 18 signups, which is pretty insane for just a subscriber tournament. So, you know, looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. You subs, even if you're just gonna watch. It's gonna be a lot of fun. As you see, a few Lings moving up the ramp, gonna get turned away by this Marine. However, Donna's just gonna have to back away for now. Not able to do too much with this early Queen, pushing back this Reaper as well. And neither player really getting any significant advantage or anything in the very early stages of game number 2 of this best of 7. Second gas is down for Basho as he gets ready to follow up with some kind of tech-based play. We'll see the starport most likely coming down in the very near future. As you see, this Reaper just going to be backing away from Basho. And, well, a couple of Marines actually find these Zerglings, but they're going to find themselves in a little bit of trouble. As Marines continue to pull back, and one goes down, the other one will probably die here. Going to be very close. The Reaper comes in to try and help. Reaper's wasting time jumping up sides of walls and stuff. And so the Marine does end up going down. And the Reaper will begin to move across to the upper right side of the map. Starport and Tech Lab coming in from Basho, giving us a bit of an idea as to where he wants to go from this. Perhaps go Banshee, perhaps just Siege Tank Medevac early on here. We'll see what happens now as this Tech Lab does finish. No reactor on the barracks just yet as the Marine comes in and, well, is able to push this Overlord back. He sees the starport and factory and sees the position, so he knows there's not going to be any early Hellions or anything. We're going to see the factory will lift up, third CC coming down, and we're going to see the starport onto that Tech Lab ready to make some Cloak Banshees. So third CC coming in, Banshee and Cloak starts, pretty much as expected at this point. As we're going to see the Tech Lab coming in on the wall. Very brave if he's going to start with a Stimpack over here. Very sniperable by any kind of all-in, any kind of Baneling burst, or even just a Roach attack. That Tech Lab's going to be one of the first things to fall. As we see, the Zerglings just getting turned away again for a few moments back at home. Dana is taking a third hatch. And everyone just getting set up nicely. Creep pushing out onto the map as well. And man, don't you just love ZVT? Don't you just love Creep Spread? Don't you just love all the action we get in this matchup? Like, literally this matchup has so much to do in it. Creep Spread's super duper important to kill, to create. You got Banshees to harass with, you got drops to harass with, you got Ravager shots to avoid, you got Banelings to split against. What a beautiful matchup. Low in the way now for Dana as we start to get an insight into what he might be wanting to be aiming towards in this game. Something along the lines of, well, he's got Roach Warren down, but that seems that it might just be for safety's sake. Could throw down, I mean, well, no Eva Chimmers yet. Let's see what comes in from the lair. I wonder. I was going to say it could be a fast Spire or something to really crazy change things up, but maybe not. I mean, no Bane Nest or anything to kind of support mutilating Bane play, so maybe it's just Roach speed coming in very quickly, but no Roach upgrades just yet. Possibility. Just go for a big Roach Ravager time with no upgrades. Pretty all in, but can work out in your favour if the Terran player just isn't quite prepared for it. As you see, the first Banshee of the game is already over here. Starting to get some damage done. 2-3 workers now killed. And will just get away before he gets sniped down. Or will it? I might actually just get cut off by the Queens. Okay, Basho does just change direction of the Banshee at the last moment. These Lings are going to be coming up this ramp and just having a look to see what they can do back at home, but not enough. There's not anything to really do back here at all. Double Eva Chamber gets dropped. That lair not being utilised just yet. As we see, maybe just a Spire will come down if he's going to play Mutilating Bane. Definitely a possibility here, strong possibility even. As the first Banshee on the way back home to get repaired, the second Banshee getting ready to come in towards the third base. Going to find himself a Zergling to begin with, and actually will start doing some damage against the Queen, but will start hitting the drone line, and again, the more drones he kills, the better position our Terran player will get into. And you see this Banshee just backing away, leading his Ravagers. Continue to work their way through these rocks. We see the lift up on a couple of Marines, and two Medevac's going to move out onto the map to try and get some further damage done as well. Whereas the Banshee still over here, hasn't been repaired just yet and sent back out. As you see, +1/+1's on the way for our Terran player. Everything just seems very delayed for Dana. Very late 1/1 upgrade. His Spires, well, not fast to come down. Bane and speed only just starting. And that lair was, that lair was very early in comparison to everything else, and the upgrades are very far behind as well now. So, not sure how I feel about this for Dana just yet, as we're going to see these Medevacs dropping into the natural. So, units already getting in a position to deal with this, though, as this Banshee over towards the fourth base, just going to try and pick that off, and that might actually be fairly successful, as, ooh, Corrosive Biles kill off one of these Medevacs, and one Marine will get taken down. Two Marines get taken down, as that Medevac gets chased away. This Banshee was so close to getting cancelled on this fourth, but does get forced back by these couple of Queens. If the other Banshee was out here as well, maybe they could have teamed up and worked together. And Banshee just moving across the map to have a look to see if it can do anything where its successor could not. So Banshee's still moving around. I don't think this Banshee's actually going to have much luck at all. Runs straight into two Queens. Actually kills off a Creep Tumor, which is, well, it's nice, but it's not game changing really. You know, when we talk about cleaning creep, we talk about cleaning entire rows of creep spread rather than just a single tumor of 4. As our drops just having to pull back here, not having too much success really in the long run. And I've seen Infestation Prey on the way up, Corruptors on the way out from Donna as well. Donna really looking for this sort of, well, this later game setup, I guess. Corruptors will help against Medivacs, etc. Actually very useful against Liberators too, to stop the Liberators coming up initially. It's probably just Corruptors into Ultras as the Hive finishes up. I'm going to see Bashaw just continuing to come along this left-hand side. Lots of Ling Bane positioning itself to this side as well. The Corruptors about to be out here to help against these initial... Well, against the Banshees initially as well, against a couple of these Medivacs. Take them out while the Ling Bane fights on the ground as Bashaw pushing on up here, looking to see what he can get done. Stimming, picking off a lot of the creep spread. Big split behind these couple of tanks which he's got set up as he makes his way into the mineral line, and we're going to start seeing some workers going down. And here we go, big commitment from Donna as he moves on in from a couple of different angles. Good engagement from Donna initially, but then he ends up attacking off creep, and so he loses a lot of his banelings without anything really gained. And Bashaw's going to push on through without too much of an issue here, as he's going to perhaps stim once more. And well, let's see where this goes. We're going to see this Hatchery starting to take some damage. Banes, Roaches, Ravagers starting to crash on forwards, but again, just not really connecting in time. A couple of crossbars come down, but 2 crossbars is not enough to kill off a siege tank. And so once again, we see our Templar just continue to push. The 4th base will fall, and now Bashaw can just kind of pull away from this position. Doesn't really need to stick around in this any longer, and his Marines will keep on splitting. Looks like he can't really get away, so he will get his army cleaned up. For the most part, a few Marines will be left over on the ground. This Banshee still picking off units from the skies. 14 kills on that at this point in time. As we see a few more Marines just joining up together. 4th base down though, and this puts Donna into a very tough position now. Limiting the gas income, which will limit further tech in this game, which is what the Zerg really wants to get up into. The Ultralist count, the upgrades for the Ultras as well. And even super late, you know, even adding on just some Infestors too. Sort of thing is that Donna would like to do, but at this point realistically is may not just may not be able to. 4th base gets replaced, but I mean Bashaw already getting ready to go for another fight across this map in just a couple moments time. Creep continue to push out here as well. Lots of creep spread along this right hand side. Oh well, actually lots of creep spread, but it doesn't really protrude very far into the map just because of the way it's set up. So it's actually kind of very little creep spread. It's only just starting to get towards the halfway point, so for 10 minutes in the game it's not the best. As we're going to see this turn player stemming in once again. And just continue to look to see what he can get up to. Single Marine in the front trying to bait some Baneling hits. Another siege tank moving a little bit further forwards. Going to fire down on one of these queens. Another little stim in here. Just to try and pick away at that hatchery. We're going to see Baneling starting to crash in though. Donna starting to push this back. A couple of Infestors here as well, but they're not far enough forwards just yet. They don't have fungal growth energy just yet either. And that means that Infestors are going to be rather useless for the next couple of moments as the 4th base is going to go down once again. A couple of tanks in the back continue to help out. Lots more units coming in. I mean, Bashaw just has so much more. Bane's being moved in. Infestors is about to have energy to fungal. A single Ultra on the way, kind of playing, also building. But again, one of these situations where it might just be way too little, way too late. You're going to see these Infestors want to be very careful about where they go. A big couple of fungals coming on to some Marines at the front, and they will be killed off. But does it really allow our Circular to kind of push on through into this? I don't think it does. As these Lingers Finger coming forwards once again, tanks continuing to fire down. And we're going to see Donna just GG'ing out, realizing he's too far behind to make our TVT, shall we? What a... TVT is such a beautiful matchup, but so is TVT. So much positional play, so much fast-paced positional play nowadays with the tank drops and stuff like that. As I load on to Dusk Towers. To the left side of the map, it's going to be our pink Terran player from Nuit Blanche. It's going to be Bashaw. Who's the player who's got the most map wins in the SC2ITL? I'm pretty sure that's Liquid Bunny. I'm 99% sure it's Bunny. Actually, I don't think... Has someone all killed twice, perhaps? I don't think so. I think it's Bunny. He's like 7-1, I think. I think he's 7-1. I know, well, actually, I know Bunny's 7-1. I don't think anyone has more than him, but maybe they do. Maybe I'm wrong on my own trivia. So the top right side of the map is going to be our yellow Terran player from isIMBA. It is going to be Soul. My mouse doesn't like it when I hold down the middle mouse button. You guys are really bad at SC2ITL trivia. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, where's the SC2ITL trivia passion at? You guys are getting asked some really good questions by Corvus, who's literally the god of the SC2ITL Wikipedia page. Like, he keeps up to date all of the player stats. It's literally incredible. He keeps it all up to date and stuff. And like the first week, after the first match, I tried to edit some of it, and I got really confused trying to edit it all because it's really confusing. I cannot imagine how confusing it is now. There's over like 100 different players listed in it. It's absolutely insane. Oh, it's Kalazur. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Kalazur's done pretty well for Root. Ah, Bunny must be like second top or something then. Must be. I can't be wrong. Oh, Kalazur. I forgot about Kalazur, not gonna lie. He's one of them people who's... What the fuck is this? Stop opening random shit on my phone, please. I'm trying to get the statistics page up, because it's quite cool to talk about the statistics a lot of the time. As we have this SCV has come across the map. I guess let's not talk about statistics. Let's talk about the game. So that's been a fast expand from both players. Looks as though it's just been a... Wow, it's just been a Reaper expand from both? Yeah, it has just been a Reaper expand. It's just confusing because the Reapers aren't moving across the map. Classic. Alright. Reaper expand for both players then. And we're just seeing the factories to follow up with. Second gas is coming down now as well. Papa Mitch, thank you very much for your 8-month resub. Much appreciated. 8 months, that is a long time. It's 2/3 of a year. That's crazy. 1 more month, we got a sub baby. Sub AF Louder in the chat as well. If you're interested in subbing, guys, it's a really good time to do so because we have our sub tournament coming up on Monday. And not only do we have our sub tournament coming up on Monday, we also have our sub tournament coming up on Monday, but that also means that it's the end of the month, which means that you get the replay pack from February as well. That comes up on Monday night, maybe Tuesday by the time I forget to do it on Monday night. So, good time to sub if you want that replay pack and so on. As we see, starports coming up for both players. There's been a single Widowmine building for both. Single Hellion. I mean, it's very, very similar stuff so far. No real big changes. As we just get set up into the early stages of this TVT. I'm gonna just not grab that Reaper. We'll try and hunt it down though as it heads to the upper left side. Hellion is faster than the Reaper, so it's a chase the Reaper can't ever win unless he outsmarts the Hellion. Oh, gets up to the high ground. Oh, he does it! The Reaper gets away with 2 hit points. What a god. What an absolute hero. Saves his own life. I guess he's not a hero if he saves his own life, right? Just impressive. Just impressive. I can't believe I forgot about colours. It's really funny because I looked at so many of them. I looked at so many of the statistics yesterday because I love statistics. I love seeing who's doing well and stuff. I think it's really cool. I look at them all the time. I just completely forgot about colours there. That's crazy. New Film was doing pretty well. Showtime's 5-0. Funk is 3rd place with 6-1 this season. It's pretty sick. Some pretty sick. It is just cool to be able to see the statistics. It's really cool. I appreciate everyone who helps to keep them up to date, which is mostly Corvus. But yeah, it's cool. I love reading statistics and things, so we're loving it. Alright, we got paused. It looks as though we're going to be good to go again in a second or two. Very, very much Anxious Panda for the follow as well. If you guys do enjoy the stream and you haven't really heard of the SC2 Improved Team League before, then it is the biggest team league outside of Korea nowadays. I'm Wardy and I'm from SC2 Improve and I run all this stuff on my own. So yeah, if you enjoy the stream, hit follow so you want to go live again. I'm currently full time in terms of producing content, running the team league and so on. I know I keep saying this, but honestly the next couple of days you're going to see a lot of YouTube content out of me in terms of like new guides and stuff and things like that. So, you know, lots of stuff coming your way. Just check out the YouTube channel as well if you're interested in some stuff like that. Selling just going to be backing off a little bit, and we're going to see a drop starting to come in from Bashor, coming in to the upper left side. How many all kills have there been? I know this one. There was 17 then last night. 17 and then last night. This is my trivia answer. I've got this one. I know this one. 17 plus last night was 118. And yeah, 18. 18, my answer. Go. It has to be right. I believe in myself completely. I knew there was 17. Oh, I'm wrong, aren't I? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it's something like that, though. It's crazy how many there has been. Anyways, let's stop distracting me with trivia. We've got drops coming down. Marine drop over here, as we're going to see a lot of these SCVs getting very low at the same time. We're going to see Soul trying to clean up over here. 3-4 workers killed, so Soul's getting the better end of this trade so far. 5 workers killed against just 3. Now there's this Reaper in here as well, also picking off some SCVs. So this has been a bit of an interesting one so far as the grenade comes down and oops, one SCV survives on 1 hit point as if. Well, the chances are probably not so low. If that's just how much damage a Reaper shots and a Reaper grenade does. As we see this Viking pushing this medevac away, and eventually this will be cleaned up on either side of the map. 9 workers killed by Soul, 6 by Bashaw. But overall, both players on very even work accounts as this Liberator will be chased away. Soul not going to find much of a follow-up with this one. So, Liberator just going to keep flying around looking for a little bit more damage. And there's a lot of these SCVs got very low over here for Soul. And we're going to see the Widowmine actually picked off one more worker in the end there as well. Soul scans, cleans that up. After all is said and done, we're going to have, what? A couple of orbitals, 3 racks, Factory H, Starport H, Engineering H. Very similar game, very even game. Upgrade timing is a little bit faster on the stim pack from Soul. Unit count is slightly favouring Soul as well. More Marines, an extra tank. A Liberator over 2 Vikings, an extra medevac. It's a very even game. It actually is a very even game. As we're going to see these couple of medevacs coming across the map. Looking to see what they can get done. A couple of tanks and actually some Marines coming across as well. So a little bit of pressure looking to be applied. Liberator comes in, does pick up a couple of kills. And there's a 3rd kill on it now as well as these SCVs travel a little bit too far in the wrong direction. Viking out of position as we're going to see these tanks dropping on the low ground. This Cyclone's going to die. And immediately these tanks are going to open up a whole world of pressure on towards this base. Single siege tank starts to move forwards. It will be in a little bit of trouble if it's not careful though, but Soul just repositions slightly and depots will be lost. So Soul getting himself into a good spot here. The siege tank moves a bit further forwards. That's nearly a dead tank, but nice repositioning. And allows it to stay alive for a little while longer. We're going to see... Ooh, drops that tank just as this tank fires. That's a little bit unfortunate, as this tank is going to win. So actually Soul loses both of his siege tanks. But just kill a couple of depots, which is annoying. Supply blocking his opponent. Lifts these Marines and looks as though he will try to drop in towards the natural. Looks as though those Vikings are on top of that idea now. As they're going to move sort of in that direction. And start looking to hunt down these medevacs. That first medevac's going to go down immediately. The other medevac will boost away in time and stays alive. So, 3rd base is up for Soul, and that's something we actually haven't seen yet from Bashaw, and that's a big difference in this game. There wasn't a 3rd CC the last time I checked, but now there is, so 3rd CC for Soul makes a big difference here. And this 3rd command center is really going to just edge things into Soul's favour, ever so slightly right now. Stimpack going to complete for Soul as well. In fact, for Bashaw, it's finished for Bashaw. So upgrades are actually very even still. As this medevac comes back in and will just be hunted down by Vikings. That will go down, can't save that now. And we're going to see a few Marines on the low ground though. We'll pick up a Viking, and this is being not so bad in the end for Soul. Gets a Viking, nearly gets a 2nd as well, gets very, very low. And as these Marines, these tanks, going to now move over Bashaw, looking to try and get some damage done himself. Another medevac and Marines moving out over to the left-hand side of the map. Sense tower set up over here. And Soul just going to be looking to keep an eye on any units moving forwards here in the next few minutes. As these units continue to push forwards now, we're going to see a couple of tanks left in. Soul just needs to be ready and in position to deal with any kind of push in from his opponent. Bashaw actually quite far up in terms of army supply. 20 army supply up, down by 15 workers however. And so here we go, Soul's going to realise this now, starts to drop his units into position. As Bashaw going to come up here as well, he's going to commit to this, he drops his tanks, one goes down immediately. Oh, I don't think this is a good fight at all for Bashaw, with more tanks in the back for Soul, although that being said, he's going to lose his Marines, and he's going to see these tanks starting to go down, but with repositioning, none of the tanks actually end up dying. And so Soul comes out of this a little bit ahead, and especially now as he's got a drop on the other side of the map, which is going to start picking off SCVs as well. 10, 11 workers already killed. This missile turret will go down too, but not before it picks off the medevac. Siege tank still around over here, and a few more Marines rallying over. That means this drop is still kind of completely uncontested down to this side. More SCVs going to be pulled into this as these Marines so step away. That's what, 14, 15 workers now killed, 17 killed as the drop finally gets cleaned up. But that's a major economic advantage for Seoul now, who just has to hold on and find a way to break out of this position. Siege tank going to lift into these medevacs as Bashor realizes he has to get something done with this position right now. As well, here we go. He's going to start pushing up here, but it looks as though Seoul just has more than enough. Really pulls back a little bit as he's going to lose a couple of tanks because of that way, the way he moved that there. So Seoul's still just struggling to hold on, but eventually should just outproduce his opponent. One of the barracks counts on 7-5, so yeah, he should just outproduce her here eventually. As he sims forwards, there's going to be one dead tank and another dead tank. Well, dead tank just lift up. So it's not quite a dead tank just yet, but it means Seoul has pushed his opponent away from this position, and this gives him the chance now to really break out onto this map for himself. Scan comes down as he sees the third base of his opponent only just morphed into an orbital as we speak, so Seoul should be very content with the position he's in, and we might see isIMBA taking the lead in this series for the second time today. Big Doom drop heading in towards the main base. Seoul should see this very quickly though on his minimap. The tanks will begin to drop, but the Marines are already getting into position from Seoul. Does he have enough to clean this up? One tank down, the second tank down, and now he's definitely got enough Marines. He's targeting down the medevacs as well. That's really smart. Getting rid of the medevacs means he can't pick up and retreat, although he does stop targeting them and just cleans up the Marines instead. And another advantage goes the way of Seoul, who's getting ready to drop into this main base, which has nothing in position to protect it. Now Seoul should be the one who's feeling very confident to move out onto the map, get some damage done, and just go from here. You see these Marines starting to drop off. SCV is being picked away at. 3 SCVs already going down. Deeper in the back could go down as well. And while Seoul's attacking, distracting, he's just going to know that he has a chance to move across the map now and get into an aggressive position of his own. You know, his opponent was just doing the exact same to him. Now he's going to set up this position for himself. As these medevacs, these Marines coming across towards the bottom left side of the map. So, going to lose the medevac here, a little bit of a shame, but not game changing really at this point in time when he's 150 supply to 88. You're going to see him moving forward. Scan reveals Seoul's army. He only has a couple of tanks, but, well, does he have enough Marines to just drop in? He's going to drop his tanks over to the left hand side here initially and will work his way against a couple of Marines. Very hard to attack into this position, so you can't just run up this ramp without really thinking about it at all. We're going to see these Marines pushing back a few of these Marines of his opponent. Tanks having to reposition ever so slightly. It's going to be a Seoul who's just picking away at Marines a couple at a time here. Fourth base setup for him back at home. He's going to load a single medevac units in towards the main base too. Signal siege tank comes in to the main to help protect this potential movement here. So we're going to see Seoul coming in and just going to be starting to unload his Marines onto these SCVs again on the gas, taking down a couple of those. As we're going to see Seoul is not actually in range of that siege tank there, and will get turned away from the main base, but still just continue to push advantages. Oh, I like that. Finds one of the empty medevacs, doesn't actually find the full medevac. Bashor turns around with this medevac though, but isn't going to fly into these units. So this drop going to try and make its way across the map, but still has such good map vision with the sensor towers that he should be able to respond to it very, very easily. Medevacs unloading. And we'll just start to stim in to try and get some damage done on this fourth base, but it's a planetary fortress, so he's not going to be able to do a lot. And plenty of Marines here as well, so Bashor really just fighting a losing battle, just trying to stay in a game which, well, he's pretty much dead in, but it's just so difficult to attack into a Terran player on just towers. Here we go though, tank's going to start moving forwards. There's going to be one dead tank at least. So Seoul starts to take a bit of position here, needs to stim forwards with his own Marines, lifts up his tanks, repositions them, and now does he attack up this ramp or does he pull back? He pulls back away from this, doesn't want to commit up the ramp still. Just playing this very safely, very cautiously as these tanks reposition themselves. Just once again, that drop coming back home from Bashor. Just going to unload over to the left hand side a little bit. As you see Seoul about to be maxed out against 110 supply. +3/+3 upgrades on the way for him, 2 only just on the way for Bashor. That's halfway done at least. So he's not an upgrade disadvantage for too much longer, but it still is there for now. Tank's going to load. They're actually going to move in towards the main, it seems, or a bit closer towards this direction. I'm just going to start sieging up any reinforcements trying to come down the ramp. For some reason, they're not actually, the front tank there wasn't actually attacking this tank, which was a little bit weird. Liberator's coming in now as well, and oh, this is just the game ender, right? This is the ability to actually be able to push forwards with something and actually be able to just push the tank line back and break into this position yourself. As we're going to see a couple more tanks lifting up. Liberators begin to siege. Liberators begin to siege. I don't want to start it and then end up grinding where I should be doing Team League stuff. So the bottom right side of the map from isIMBA, it's our yellow Terran player, it is Soul, who has taken isIMBA into the lead for the second time now this season. To the top left side, it's going to be our orange Terran player from Nuit Blanche. It is going to be Muru. So, early on in this game, we're going to see the Gas Fist from Soul. And we're going to see the Rax Gas from Mulu. So, slightly different openings from the very get-go. It means the factory will keep coming in slightly faster from Soul's point of view. And I kind of like this on this map. The Gas Fist, I think, is very popular, well, it's weird because it's like the Gas Fist is very good because you can be very aggressive on this map. But if you just go Rax Gas very quickly, and actually we're going to see Mulu go kind of 3 Rax Reaper, or 2 Rax Reaper at least, then you should be able to defend most kind of Gas Fist plays fairly easily. It's going to be interesting what Mulu actually does do here if he is going to commit to 2 Rax Reaper. 2 Rax Reaper is actually kind of bad against Gas Fist plays because you get the factory up so fast, it's very easy to counter it. Only 6 more subs until the tournament you can win. Yeah, the free-for-all tournament, I'm very excited for that. We need 6 more subs, 75 subs, we're going to run a free-for-all tournament. It's going to be really, really awesome. We're only 6 subs away from it. I've already been planning a bit of it. I'm genuinely really looking forward to it. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. I don't believe we're actually going to do a free-for-all tournament. 2 Reapers on the way out from Mulu to kick things off in this game. We see the factory on the way from Soul, who looks like he's probably just going to go a Reaper Hellion here initially. Or it could just be a single Reaper and not continued Reaper production. Both are viable options, and we'll just have to kind of wait and see. Who's the player on Team Liquid with the worst stats who played? I know this trivia question. I know this one. It's Liquid Mana. You know, only played once and lost 1 map. Everyone else on Team Liquid has won at least 1 map this season. Everyone that has played. Snoot was the final player to play from Liquid, and he is now 1-1. It's kind of crazy how much you know. Kieran getting that one right. He knows the Team Liquid games. Okay, maybe I'm not too young for Diablo 2. I just didn't ever play it. I should play it. Maybe I should check it out. I don't know. I don't have time for other games, really. I actually don't. I barely ever play anything. The only thing I really play nowadays, apart from some StarCraft here and there, is some old school RuneScape. And there's something just about old school RuneScape that's really chill to just log onto every now and then and just play for a little while. I was going to have this. We're just moving around from Soul. Checks the horizontal spawn. Doesn't actually know where his opponent is yet, so just checking where his opponent is. This Reaper goes to me, moving up to the upper left side of the map, and we'll find his opponent over here. And as we see, Soul has reacted to a couple more Hellions, which is a pretty good response to this heavy Reaper play. Hellions kind of destroy Reapers for the most part. We're going to see another Hellion on the way. Medevac 2, I like this though. This is going to be the idea that you can jump in here for all of these Reapers and at the same time drop the Hellions. It's going to be one very powerful attack out of Mulu. Solo has a tank on the way and Medevac up here as well. And, well, I guess the question is there going to be enough here is there going to be enough here for Soul to defend? The units tab is 4 Hellions to 3, but the 7 Reapers out of Mulu might be very difficult to deal with, but there's that siege tank, and that's going to be a major difference here. So siege tank comes up, we're going to see these Reapers starting to move forwards, them Hellions getting ready to drop. These Reapers could take so much damage initially if we see a big kind of blast onto them with the Hellions, and at the same time a siege tank shot, and that's what we're going to start seeing now. The Reapers just fighting from the low ground though. Soul just begin to pull back. Nice grenade actually coming in from Soul to help push this back. And he will clean this up without too much of an issue. Natural command center moving over to the natural as we speak. And we're going to see Mulu unsuccessful in his initial wave of aggression here. But, yeah, because he had the map control, he's able to take a later combatant center, but because he hasn't had to float his into position, bird counts can be very similar, as we can see this siege tank picking up a good couple of kills here. The Liberator starts coming across the map from Soul. Mulu already starts a Viking though, and so this Liberator shouldn't be able to achieve too much. As it does continue to move across the map from now, another tank and a medevac ready to go over here. As this medevac will fly in and see what it can get up to. The tank actually picks off a Hellion there, as the Hellion start to come forwards, and this will just be pushed away. So Soul, I think, defends this very well and just takes a slight advantage in terms of the units. An extra tank or so, Liberator as well to harass a little bit. Actually coming over to the right hand side with the Liberator. This Liberator going to come in and just siege up. Kaboom, takes out an SCV. Viking going to work his way against this Liberator as well. And the Liberator is going to end up falling. Single SCV killed. It's kind of weird. I don't really like Liberators in TVT just because of the fact they just die so quickly all the time. You know, single Cyclones on the map or single Vikings on the map, and all of a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden that's just it. It's over. You know, it's you know, the Liberator just dies and doesn't achieve anything, which is obviously never great. See Soul pushing up the right hand side of the map with these Marines, a siege tank too. A few Reapers coming back home as well. Viking still flying over to this right hand side. Liberator trying to decide where it wants to go. Gets found by these Reapers, however, so the Viking will be able to reposition itself and should start coming back over here if Mulu was paying attention. Perhaps he wasn't. Perhaps he's going to try and find it with these Marines, though. It's definitely a possibility. He actually already has Stim up, and that's why the Marines are able to move so quickly. Doesn't quite catch the Liberator, though. The Liberator does manage to squeeze away. So, a few Reapers going to be looking to see what they can do over here. They might be able to delay this third CC, which is starting to come in from Soul, but look at this position. Soul's just set up for himself. Wow, big push across the map from him, and he's starting to elevate her into this main base, which is going to be very successful initially, but not when his opponent starts to stim in and starts to really get some damage done. Loving this though, just pulling back with these tanks, and can still just pressure a little bit now in sieges though, and we'll just lift them into the medevac to get away once and for all. These Ribbers do pick off the SCV, trying to build this command center. It's a very similar game so far. Both players have advantages in different ways. Soul's got a slightly later stim pack, slightly faster +1. His third CC's faster but isn't able to build just yet because of the map control coming in from these Reapers. So it's a little bit frustrating as this grenades keep being very annoying actually. There's one Reaper down and another Reaper about to go down. There's tanks actually dropping from medevacs to chase these away. First CC will continue to build then, as we'll see Mulu begin to lift up his siege tanks and getting ready perhaps for a push across the map now. A few Marines are going to start pushing across here, and again, let's see what he can get up to then. A few Marines, a few siege tanks flying around. You'll see this single Marine from Soul moving out into the middle of the map as well. As this medevac lifts up Marauder, a few Marines, they're going to head up towards the north side. You'll see the single Marine over here getting picked off. Soul not got combat shields just yet, so would like to kind of avoid an engagement until that is available to him. As this natural CC, or Fed CC, sorry, is now morphing into an orbital. Soul needs to kind of keep an idea as to where this army is. He does have this drop coming across the map, and he is just going to avoid this Viking, so this is nice for him. We're going to see him dropping into position, and whoa, the first shots come down from Soul. He's actually going to take down 3 of his opponent's tanks already, but he doesn't really have the Marine count over here to continue fighting, so he's going to have to pull back and retreat. He's going to lose some medevacs. There's one going down already. A couple of tanks will drop. He's going to take some damage over here. This drop not moving forwards just yet, as this medevac, or sorry, this CC has to lift. Got there in the end. And we have to see Soul dropping down here in a moment or two. But this counterattack, this drop, is going to do so much more damage than this attack did from Mulu. And so Soul going to start pulling ahead. We're going to see a very weird situation where actually Soul's going to end up pushing this away. That medevac is just going to get away. Didn't have boost, so if Soul actually stimmed after it, would have been able to kill it off, as the engineering bay will go down for Mulu. And now Soul will hold a +1 armor advantage for a long time in this game. As he scans, he sees that his opponent's army isn't here anymore. He sees his army, or third base, is non-existent just yet, or at least not landed, as it is just coming over here. So this orbital going to be landing over here. Marines and tanks coming in over to the right hand side. Single Marine pushing forwards, looking to see what it can get up to. 2 medevacs loading up with Marines, and they're going to come down the left side. Mulu going to try and drop himself here. So these medevacs coming down. However, Marine from Soul very nicely placed to actually spot this drop coming in. That's some great information for him. Immediately sees that this medevac drop is over here, and that will slow us down tremendously. And the sensor towers are set up, and so just slowly working his way with this advantage that he has right now. These medevac's going to load once again, try and come in towards the main. Scan reveals where they are though. And we're going to see Mulu just having to back away. Can't commit with those just yet. Single Marine sees the third base now active for Mulu. So Soul continues to just pick up information around the map. There's these Marines joining themselves up together. And they're going to stim forwards now. And oh no, he's going to find these two medevacs. Big pick off by Soul. And that's a big pick off here, which is going to allow him to kind of move forwards. And, well, Mulu just going to have to be backing away here with these medevacs. So Mulu backing away, we're going to see a medevac lifting up a few Marines. Going to go up to the top side of the map. Drop's going to kind of cross each other, over each other. It's going to be Mulu who's the first to unload those, so he's actually going to be able to pick that off. Solo mostly concentrating on his attack over to the left-hand side, which is getting ready to go. Can he attack into this just with sheer numbers? +1 armor advantage 2 is going to be a big part of this. He wants to fight in. Big split, and he maybe could just do this. There's only 3 siege tanks here. At the same time, reinforcements over here should be able to deflect this dropship. There's Vikings coming in, and oh, Viking at lead for Soul. Didn't even really realize that. So he has a couple of Vikings, and they're able to take down the Vikings of his opponent. And just continue to push this back. Tank fire continuing to come in. Another couple of Marines actually need to be careful about where they rally. So just letting down, setting up the siege. Moves forwards just a little bit here with the air control is able to do this. Scan comes down to slow him down just a little bit. Still plenty of reinforcements around the map though. I feel as though there's a drop on the map which I'm just not seeing just yet. So I was going to ask for a quick pause just momentarily. Again guys, how's everyone doing in the chat as we just have the quick pause coming in from Soul. Looks as though we're getting good to go again right now, however. So back into this we go. And got Marines just setting themselves up. Splitting up a little bit, and here we go. Soul's going to just attack forwards into this, but has he waited just a little bit too long? Because now he doesn't really seem to have the advantage he had a few minutes ago. A couple of minutes ago he looked as though he had way too much for his opponent to deal with, and now he's going to lose everything. Soul, wow. Honestly, a couple of minutes ago I thought that fight would have been great for him, but now it was completely the opposite of what he needed to do. He waited way too long before really attacking into this. And Soul, well, now the game evens up a little bit. Soul's still going to have a big upgrade lead here in a couple of moments. Losing all his medevacs really hurts. Down to only 2 medevacs now. Losing a lot of his tanks in that as well. Scan coming in from his opponent. And Soul will see if the sensor tower, the army just moving around a little bit here. Single Marine stims ahead. Scan on top of the army. Just keeping track of where it is. Making sure no drops coming in that he's unaware of. Another tank lifts up into a medevac. And Soul does see this moving up here. This 2-2 about to finish. And if he just takes a fight with 2-2 against 1-1, that could be huge. But does he get that opportunity? Does that opportunity present itself, basically? There's a tank, a few Marines underneath. I'm going to move over around this side. There's that 2-2 for Soul, and again, that's his advantage now in this game after throwing what was quite the army supply lead. And Soul's going to see where this army is. He's going to start stemming in. He's going to get his tanks in a position initially, and he's going to chase. And the medevacs will be able to boost away, drop them tanks off further back. And that was a good chase by Soul, though, pushing his opponent back onto his opponent's side of the map. And again, I feel like Soul, he wants to take a fight. Why wouldn't he? At this point in the game, you're looking to really take a fight. I was going to see these Marines, these tanks moving forwards a little bit further. Another couple of shots going down on the Marines. There's a few more tanks just getting loaded up and getting ready to go once again. Soul has found himself back into this supply lead, 10 supply or so. Still at an upgrade lead as well. He also has +1 on his tanks, which his opponent does not have. We're going to see Mulu dropping his tanks over here. Soul will go up the north side a little bit, however, instead. Maybe just attack from this sort of position. And that could go very, very well for him here. As these tanks thinking about where they want to go. Doesn't want to go commit anywhere though. He's just pulling it back a little bit. Doesn't want to take another fight like the one he just took. Wants to take a much better fight than that fight. As we see Soul just mining off a 3 now, 4 bases as he lifts his main base actually and moves that over here. It's not really 4 bases, just relocating the main. And Soul sees an opportunity apparently. He has his tanks dropped already. He's going to start pushing forwards. And a nice little, scary little moment there for Mulu. He doesn't really lose much in the end, but has to try and stay on top of this. Let's see a drop in the main base as Soul continues to get damage done here. And that 2-2 advantage will definitely help him out in this position. However, that 2-2 advantage is faded in 40-30 seconds. And it is not going to be here anymore. As we see, 4th base down to his bottom left side from Mulu is something which Soul is now going to be able to move himself in towards. And with tanks already set up here, that's going to be very difficult for his opponent to deal with. And he basically has to fight into this, I guess, in some ways. But maybe not, actually. He kind of just threatens it. And so Soul just kind of pushes his opponent back. Tank's going to drop here. Slight advantage, slight lead. And the tank dropping for Mulu. And the tanks go down so quickly, though. And the tanks drop so quickly. And it's just before his +2 armor. And that's going to be a huge part of this fight as Soul stims in. GG will be called. And it is IMBA find themselves up. Let's talk StarCraft. Let's go to the bottom right side of the map. Our final player from Nuit Blanche. He was taunted by Soul in the lobby. Soul actually said, you guys, you should send out Art on Prion Terraces. Let him pick up the win for you. And Art was like, what? And then a minute there, he's like, you know what, let's go. I want to beat you. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to do it. And here he is, on the bottom right side of Prion Terraces. It is Art, our Orange Protoss player, the final player from NB. Ah! Sometimes I just go a little bit crazy with the introduction spins and completely ruin the nice, calm mood we usually have. To top left side, our yellow Terran player is from isIMBA. It is Soul, with the CC first. He's doing it wrong, man. When you put down a CC first, what you should do is you should actually float this command center over here, and then CC first over here. He clearly doesn't understand the way Terran works. He hasn't seen the wardy builds yet. He hasn't seen the way I play this map on ladder. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Alright. So, we are awaiting, jumping into our next game here. We're going to see a natural command center obviously on the way up. Art, well, cannot make a nexus just yet because of the engineering bay block. Dun, dun, dun. So that's a little bit annoying. We'll get killed off here in a second though. Boom. 94 minerals back in the bank. As Art behind us just has to take a second gas, and so just make sure to see when the second gas was taken. And notice it wasn't too early. She doesn't have to worry about a super early Stargate or anything, but does know it's taken now. So, SCV sees what's up. CC first is done. And we've seen 3 racks follow up pretty standard off the CC first, so very standard stuff so far. As Soul pulls his workers down to start saturating his gold base here on the natural. Gonna see this SCV pulling back for Soul as well. The song was Lady by Chromatics, Galaxy ZVFX. Dark Ones does a lot on the channel actually. Dark Ones does a lot of modding, a lot of updating the title, a lot of shouting at me when the title's wrong, a lot of bet creating. He's taken over Mjolki's role because Mjolki has disappeared again. Mjolki came back for like a day. She's like, yeah, I'm feeling better now, guys. I'm back. And then just doesn't like show up again for like the next 2 weeks. R.I.P. Mjolki. Press F to show your respect to Mjolki, who is no longer with us apparently. She'll be back. Don't worry, guys. I know you'll miss Mjolki. She'll be back. You know what? I'll WhatsApp her right now while we watch this Oracle being made and coming across the map from Art. I'll be like, Mjolki! Well, I won't say Mjolki, I'll say Lina. Maybe I shouldn't tell you guys the name. Let's do this. Right, this is where we are live WhatsApping Mjolki. I will update you guys as it goes. For now, Oracle is about to pop out from Art. It has been a Stargate opening into a third Nexus on the second gold base. Stim has started from Soul, Engineering Bay, and a factory coming up. So you should be very well defended against this Oracle. He should be able to get turrets up if he needs them. And, I mean, he's been on plenty of marine production from the early stages with 3 racks, so he's already got 10 marines up. This Oracle shouldn't really be able to do too much here. Let's see this Oracle just looping in towards the natural initially, and, well, we'll only find a couple of marines here, so actually we'll be able to get some good damage done initially. So that's 2 free workers done already, now 4. And that's a little bit of a frustrating situation. And 5 workers and 3 marines, not the best, now 6 workers. And now he'll jump into the main base where there should be a turret. Oh, not yet. Oracle, 7, 8, 9 workers. What a huge amount of damage done in the very early stages of this game by Art. I really thought Soul was going to not really take damage from this. He had the engineering bay up, but his turrets were just a little bit too late. So, Oracle just kind of backing away a little bit. We see an SCV in the middle of the map. Third Nexus finishing up for Art, and that means he's in such a great position after killing 10 workers or so. He really is in a really great position here in the early stages. We see this Good Marine's actually going over to the right hand side, Marine and Marauder through the middle. A little bit of an interesting... I guess what he wants to do is he clicked over here, and so these couple of units were too far forwards to already go this way. The rest of the units just started going this way anyways. The question is, how many units does Art have? 6 Adepts? But they're all at the natural, so he might be able... Ooh, it's going to be very close. I don't think he will, especially... okay, I was going to say he might kill the third base, but definitely not now that it's been scouted so early. Adepts already moving into position. And these units will be able to stim. Not yet, though. Oh, stim is 5 seconds away. No! He can't stim, and now he's going to be adepted on top of. No! The Adepts! The Adepts! Well, there we go. We're going to see some Marines stimming in. They do get the Mothership Core, which is something at least. So the Adepts kind of, in the end... Well, so the Mothership Core goes down, but it costs him a lot of bio, so really nothing going Soul's way at all in the early stages of this. Huh. Alright. So Art's getting himself in a pretty good position. Where does Soul really go from here? 2 more racks. Gonna be very aggressive off of 2 bases. Lost his first chunk of bio. 2 more medevacs on the way out. Or first 2 medevacs on the way out. So now you can start being aggressive with drops as well. But with Phoenix on the map, that's not going to be easy at all. And we might be going into a game number 5 at this rate, because Art is in a sick position already. Guys, Lina Mjolki actually replied. She says, "What's up? I'll tell her the stream misses you." As we continue our live updates of Mjolki. Alright, so Phoenix come in to pick off a worker or something. I'm not sure. I'm busy live WhatsApp and Mjolki. We should really get back in the game. This is my problem, guys. I talk to you guys. I was like, he needs a co-caster because he doesn't talk enough about the game. He can't focus because I read chat to it. It's just all your guys' fault. Giving me things to talk about. God damn it. Alright. Oracle just sitting over to his left-hand side a little bit. I mean, again, it's a very tough position, really, for Soul to come back from. He's down a gold base from so early in the game. He lost a lot of units early on already. Not only did he lose a lot of units, he lost a lot of SCVs to the first Oracle, more than you ever really should lose. And so Soul really is not in the best of positions from the get-go in this game. Let's see, lots of Adepts coming through the center, and it looks as though Art is just going to try and put an end to this game very early on here. We see some units staying forwards, but little does he know, little does Soul know, there's so many Adepts! This medevac's going to go down. He just continues to run with these with this medevac, but these Adepts are going to kill everything, and Art just has so much. The double drop coming in towards the third base, though, that might be able to get some damage done. This might be something to start pulling Soul back into this game, even. As he continues to just produce off of his 5 barracks at home. We'll see, well, Widowmine's helping a lot here. 10 workers have been killed, so Soul's actually going to take a worker lead. He's actually doing a very good job with +1 weapons. He's taking down all of these Adepts. These probes are in trouble too, but can he hold on against these units which are currently coming up his ramp? There's so many Adepts, guys. SCV is going to be pulled into this immediately. We're going to see a couple of Widowmines go off initially. SCV's repairing this bunker, and they're doing an okay job for now. These Adepts are not dying just yet. Soul is eventually going to lose his units over here. He kills off the Mothership Core, though. He's going to have 1 Marauder left. He's killed off 17 workers as these SCVs keep this bunker alive. I can't believe it. Soul's making this happen. He's killing all the Adepts. How does he make this happen? Oh my god. Soul, what a god. He just killed like 20,000 Adepts with like 1 bunker. Amazing. Literally incredible. And he actually takes the lead in this game with that drop as well. What a turnaround by Soul. He was in such a horrible position in this game, but he turns it around completely. Widowmine's still in this mineral line. That's something Art gonna have to be aware of. Otherwise, he'll run into some trouble in a couple of moments when he loses all of his workers. Big drop to the left-hand side of the map now. Going to be spotted by this probe on the watchtower. And so you should be able to start preparing. Photon cannon on the way up. But honestly, I think these Widowmines are going to go off before then. Widowmines. Widowmines. Kaboom, kaboom. 4 more workers down. That's 44 SCVs to 37 probes. These medevacs do have to unload their cargo, as Art does have Phoenix in position. And we do see the Marine taking control of the watchtower at least. So this game completely tilts, completely kind of spins around from the position it was into the position we're in now, with Art really kind of throwing this a little bit. That one, the Marines in the bunker were the absolute MVPs. You're going to see Soul actually lifting this natural CC to kind of start mining at his third base instead, because the natural is pretty mined out. Lots of units still down here, not really doing a lot, while Art moves through the middle of the map, looking to try and get some damage done. That being said, Art does still have some units stuck here in the main base. We're going to see Soul find himself a pylon to kill off, and now Soul just see this army. He's got a couple of Liberators here as well, though, and Liberators are pretty good. Is it going to be enough, though? He's going to start pushing these Adepts back. A few Adepts over towards the gold base, though, and 15 workers have gone down. And we're going to see these units continue to move forwards. Widow Mines will decide where they want to burrow as well. Probably underneath these Liberators, but here come the Phoenix, and that makes it very difficult for these Liberators to stick around also. These Liberators are going to start taking some damage. Soul looking as though he might be in a bit of trouble. Here come his drops from the other side of the map. Starting to come back home. Widow Mines starting to recharge, starting to become available once again. They're going to see the Adepts, though, popping on top of this army. Does Soul have enough to keep holding on? He might still just have enough to hold on. He's taking down a lot of the Phoenix. He might be a bunker job once again as he jumps into this bunker, but there's not SCVs nearby to repair this time. More units coming out of the main base, so that bunker does fall very quickly. That Immortal helping out a lot with this. As we're going to see the units continue to stim here. Well, the upgrade is +1 against just one against 1-1, so it's actually the Protoss player in the upgrade lead, as Soul has to pull back in towards his main base. These Phoenix are starting to go down, and that's really useful. As the Phoenix fall, it means these Medivacs don't get killed off as much, but SCV is going to have to be pulled into this now, it seems, as 2-2 upgrades are about to kick in for our Protoss players, so even more of an upgrade lead, as we see Soul struggling to hold on against this, losing more and more workers once again, still just about in this in army supply, but is it enough? He's 20 workers down. Can he even clean up these Adepts at his front? I don't know if he can. He's getting a couple more units, a few more Marines popping out here, but his Medivacs are completely drained of energy. Widowmine goes down, kills the Phoenix. And we're going to see these Adepts continue to pick off. It looks as though Soul might just be completely dead here. We're going to see a couple of Liberators coming out though, and actually the Phoenix are gone, so maybe the Liberators can just about hold on. Soul is reproducing SCVs off of 3 bases, remember, so he gets them back up and running quite quickly. The Liberators once again just being the complete MVPs, but are they enough? Soul has actually got so much army supply, it's just mostly in kind of like Medivacs, I guess, or something. He's actually got 40 army supply to 33. Again, the upgrade is now favoring our Protoss player. Oh, there's another Liberator from nowhere! Liberator out of nowhere, guys! Wow. Well, that helps out a lot as well, as these Adepts are finally going to get turned around. I don't believe I'm saying this, but Soul has taken the supply lead once again. What on earth? Wow. Okay, so Soul. This game got really crazy very quickly. This game got very crazy very quickly, as well, I mean, the thing is, Art is mining out from his gold bases, right? So he is sort of struggling in economy and mining. I'm going to see a big play over to the right hand side. Adepts coming in towards this gold base though, so still going to lose some units over here, still reproducing Marines. Big drop to the right though. Stalkers whooping in, but well, if there's 4 Liberators, these Liberators are going to be able to get themselves in a very good position, I feel. 13 more SCVs going down though. And this economy he keeps on losing is just so, you know, it's such a big deal. Stasis Ward could be very huge in his incoming fighters. Oh, it's so close to hitting these Marines! It's so close, but it doesn't quite hit. The Marines just stay in our range. Now he sees the Stasis Ward, so he shouldn't run into it anymore. Bit busy back at home trying to clean up some Adepts. As they continue to wreak havoc, 20 more workers killed. And Soul is really starting to hurt in terms of economy now. Really starting to hurt. 12 SCVs to 39 workers. But hey, he's got Liberators, so anything's possible, right? Single Marine comes forwards. Pylon's being taken down here slowly but surely. Liberators might have to just keep on pushing forwards here. A lot more Marines coming across the map. Soul basically has this one army to win the game with. But is he going to be able to win the game with it? There's got to be our question. Voidray is on the way out to help against these Liberators as well. And we're going to see Soul pushing down into this 4th base, which is pretty fresh and where most of the mining will be taking place from our Protoss player. So this is a pretty big deal. If Art loses this, it's a very big deal actually, as Adepts continue to shade around, continue to try and get damage done. 4th base falls, and so, well, Art has what? A few mineral patches here, a few mineral patches here. He's got to work a lead, but he's very oversaturated, and so the economy is very, very similar. Look at this. Soul is not as far behind as you might expect because he takes down this base. That is huge. He sees the army still over there. He's going to move into a bit of a bad position and might just siege up over here, perhaps. That could be very effective. I see a couple of Archons being added in now as well. A few more units coming across the map. Upgrade lead to the Protoss player. 2-2 against 1-1. Base being established to the top right for our Protoss player 2. As our Terran player just continues to mine with whatever he can find, basically. As this Protoss army a little bit out of position here. This gold base looks as though it's going to go down. And Art is realizing he's going to have to fight into this. The Liberator is starting to take some damage though. One Liberator will fall very quickly. And it's all about keeping these Liberators alive. But the Liberators are not staying alive very long at all. However, has the Bio just done enough? As Soul I don't think it has. I think there's just a little bit too much. As he blinks forwards, we see that medevac going down. What a turnaround. What an absolute turnaround as we see these Stalkers and Depths. Archon and Void Ray chasing. And our Terran player is going to snipe down an Archon. What a game though. What a crazy back and forth game between these two guys. As we're going to see these Adepts, these Stalkers coming in. I think this will be it though. I don't think Soul can hold on against this any longer. As we're going to see him pulling his workers away. He's trying to wait for those last few units to pop out. Just a little while longer. Just a little while longer. Let's see what's going to happen. Marine Marauder, single medevac left. As the units continue to come across the map here, stasis wards so this army can get away from Art in the next couple of moments. As we're going to see these Stalkers looking to see what they want to try and get up to as well. A few Adepts over to this left hand side. Probes splitting themselves up. Bases being retaken by our Protoss player. As Soul is once again 45 army supply to 28. And he's counterattacking across the map, so he's actually going to lose some reinforcements. But might be able to get something done. I mean, Soul knows his, Art knows his opponent's army is over here because he's got an observer on top of it. The question is, can Soul really get enough damage done? I'm not sure if he can. As we see him going to come in, he's going to deny this space. Then he has to go and find this top right base. This is where the real issue is. Unless he just comes up and shuts down the production. There's a couple of Archons starting to morph in. Actually, the Mothership Core recalls this army back home. Before an overcharge goes down. Soul backs away, kills off 5 workers, picks off another couple of workers here. He just doesn't know about the top right base. That's what he's looking for with these Marines, but he hasn't checked the top right. He's checked the other bases, but missing out on the top right is some big lack of information for him. As he gets back to mining on this gold base over here, might be time to lift this CC and land it over to the right-hand side. If they land themselves over here, that could be a little bit of extra mining, which our Terran player desperately needs. 61 army supply 48. It's just bio now, though. It's just bio. Before we had some Liberators, now it is just bio. Marine Stims down the bottom left. The single medevac a little bit out of position. Needs to try and pull that back. Needs everything he can get if he wants to hold against this. He's building a bunker. 2 more Liberators about to pop up as well. As these units for Art just backing off a little bit. Marine gets killed off. This Marine's going to find his base to the top right, and this is huge. This is what... Oh, no, he's not checking it. Oh, no. This is what Soul is missing. He doesn't realize that our Protoss player is mining with this fresh base of his own. That's really where the difference is being made right now, honestly. As we're going to see some stasis wards being set up. A couple of Marines picked off. A Liberator here. A couple of Liberators to set up defensively. But they're going to have to reposition as this army starts to move over to this left-hand side. Stasis wards gets kills immediately. We're going to see the Liberators having to siege up, and we're going to see a stim coming in. This fight will be perhaps forced. Mothership Core will go down. Oh no, it actually just got away. Time Warp comes down. Another scan looking to see where the army is. Soul is still ahead in overall supply here. 102 to 98. Liberators will have to reposition as this army backs away to the right-hand side. A couple of stasis wards could make this difficult if he runs into one of those. As we see Art continue to mine to the top right. I just can't believe Soul hasn't scouted that position yet. He must think his opponent is on the very verge of defeat. Well, I mean, he's not too far off. He's not wrong. I mean, it is actually a very close game. The upgrade's really kind of pulling through for our Protoss play right now as we see these Adepts perhaps committing over to this side. A couple more Liberators coming into play. A couple more Liberators may be all it takes to kind of help against this. Lots of Adepts coming over to this right-hand side. We're going to see this attack. Sonic come forward. The Archon at the front goes down very quickly. As we're going to see our Terran player continue to fight against this. Next Archon goes down very quickly as well. Not very much anti-air to deal with these Liberators. Void Ray will get rid of one of them though. A couple of Widow Mines burrowing as we see our Terran player fighting into this once again. But can he really fight into this without the Liberators backing him up? He takes down another Void Ray. Some more Marines coming up. He scans over here again. Still doesn't see this base. But the bases to the right are what's really keeping Art in this. Once again, I've said this so many times now. And it's so true. As Soul... Well, there's a couple of Liberators, Adepts over to the left-hand side now. They're going to pick off another couple of SCVs. As we're going to see them being picked off now, but that might be a little bit of Soul a bit too far to position, allowing our Protoss player to move forwards. Where the Liberator's gone? They're over here with this army, so... Well, Art's going to start attacking into this third base now. He's going to start picking off some workers. A worker count which is now leading for our Terran. As these Adepts will get chased away. Liberators sieging up to help push these back. I can't believe this is still ongoing as we're going to see Adepts turning and chasing. The Liberators can siege up and just make life difficult for the Protoss player. As we finally see Soul has found this base to the top right, and now he knows where he needs to focus his attention. How much anti-air is there really though for Art? He's getting Storm, that could be a game changer. Could be a big game changer, but does he have enough to really protect against these Liberators? He's got this base coming up over here as well. This Marine does spot this as he steps away, picks off one more probe. As he moves into position to this top right. I think this top right might just die. I don't know if Art can really attack into a position that Liberators are sieged up on. And that is the problem here. If the Liberators are sieged up, can he fight into this? Again, I think the answer is no. As we're going to see a pylon going down, this assimilator as well. This game has become crazy. A depth warps into the range of the Liberators here. Might have to see one of these Liberators moving forwards. Storm will be finishing shortly, but not just yet. As 8 workers have gone down. Soul still mining, sending SCVs to mine from this bottom, from this far left base now. We're going to see Terran player being very cautious about where he actually engages. Storm again would make a big difference to this. He does know about this base too, so that's probably his next position to push on into in a couple moments' time. Soul really has opened the supply lead now. 33 workers to 30, 73 army to 54. But Storm, +2/+2 against +1/+1. Scans continue to come down, seeing where that Protoss army is. Here he goes, starting to siege up here. This Archon in the front is going to go down, but there's a big Storm. He splits away though, and that's the only 2 Storms he has. He has lots of Medevacs. Is it going to be enough though? He's going to end up fighting in the Liberators, and that might just be the mistake from Art, because honestly, there's still a lot of Terran here, and Art's going to lose everything. Soul is going to take the game. What an absolutely fantastic turnaround from the isIMBA.